Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my current favorites. I have two disappointments that I want to talk about as well. I haven't done a favorites, I think like 4 months ago, probably, possibly. I didn't do one like my end of the year favorites either, so this is going to kind of be like my current favorites, and a lot of these products have been my favorites since like October, November, December, so it's definitely current favorites. I'm still using a lot of them. A lot of them are already staples, have become staples in my makeup routine, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with moisturizers because that's like an important first step into having a really good makeup application. And let me just clean this one because I've been using it as like a little mixing palette, but I'm completely done with this one, and that just goes to show that it's my favorite. This is my second tub of this, so I will be moving on to my third because I just love this moisturizer. And you guys know every year I have this issue with this area of my face getting dry, patchy, flaky, just horrible. And this winter, I feel like, yes, my skin has felt dry in that area, but I haven't had that issue, and it's all thanks to this moisturizer. This is what I've been using pretty much all winter, and I'm so happy that it has worked so good on my skin. It feels nice. My skin feels moisturized, and I feel like it gives it like a smooth look. Like it's starting to make my skin look smooth, which I really, really like that and appreciate that as well. Of course, I have pores. You guys know that. I have textured skin. That's something that I feel like, I don't know if you can make that go away with skincare, but it would definitely have to be over the years. This is what I use all winter, and I'm obsessed. It's the Waterbank Blue Hyaluronic Gel Moisturizer because Laneige launched this collection specifically in cream, which I feel like is more for people with dry skin, and the gel moisturizer for people with oily combo skin. I do have combo skin. The winter, this area is oily. I feel like this, where I usually produce a lot of oil, stays more normal. But in the summer, I'm definitely oil central in my T-zone. So yeah, I have been loving this. It has gone so well with my skin. But you guys also know my skin is very picky and tricky. So once I start loving a product, I'm the type of person who will just stick to it and use it and continue to repurchase. But over the years, my skin is like, no, you can't do that anymore, because if you repurchase that same product again, your skin's just going to be like, no, it's not going to work out anymore. And I don't know what it is about my skin doing that, because it happened with the e.l.f. moisturizer as well. I was in love with that moisturizer. I think I mentioned it a lot of times in a lot of favorites, and it would do that. I bought easily 6 of those. After I would finish them, I would buy another one and another one until my skin just said, nah, dog, it ain't working anymore. You need to buy a different product. So the trick is now to stop using it and use something else and then go back to it. And that seems to work for my skin. I don't know what it is, girl, but since I finished this, I'm going to continue using what I am on now, which primers. I have been loving this NYX Plump Right Back Plumping Serum and Primer. At the beginning, I will be honest, I didn't really like it. Like, I felt like it didn't do, did I just say like 20 times? Yeah, I did. I felt like it didn't do much, but since my skin had been feeling dry, I was like, okay, maybe I need a more hydrating primer. And I started using this in love. Like, it adds that extra hydration that I need right now that it's like super cold out. And you can tell I am literally almost out of it because I started using it, fell in love, and it's what I've been using lately. Now, this other primer is the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. This if you have it and you returned it because it doesn't look good or it looks patchy, there is definitely a trick to it. I was going to return it, but I gave it a few more chances, and it takes some time to getting it to work. Now, I know some people are like, okay, if I have to jump through hoops to get a product to work, it's not worth it. For me personally, I will give a product a lot of chances. You guys know that, until I'm just like, okay, it just doesn't work for me. And I thought about this product and I was like, okay, maybe it just doesn't work. But I found a trick to it. So if you don't blend it into the skin very, very, very well, and I mean very, very, very well, your foundation will be patchy. 100%. It has happened to me. And I was like, okay, it's patchy, but it's the trick that you have to. This is what I do personally. I will apply it on my fingertips like this, blend it out, and then apply it all over my face. And I have to do it all over because the area you leave unblended or where you don't apply the product, you will be able to notice it when you apply your foundation, unless you blend it really, really well. When I am only targeting this area, I will go ahead and blend it out as much as I can to where it's a thin layer. I have tried to apply the thin layer and I feel like it still doesn't look as good as when I apply a decent amount and I blend it all over my skin. I will say the finish your skin has when you do it like that and you get that perfect even out blend is absolute perfection. Like, my skin looks blurred. It looks like it's filtered and I love it. So I leave that primer for special occasions because it also locks in my makeup like all day. It doesn't move. My foundation does not budge and I love it. So, I mean, is it worth the work? In my opinion, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, which is why I do it. But it is definitely a product that you have to get used to and you have to get used to working it. If not, your foundation will look patchy. And mine, I have had a few days where I'm like, okay, it looks beautiful. And then I look in and I'm like, that's where I didn't blend out the primer. You can clearly see it. Moving on to foundation and concealer and setting spray. Okay, for foundation, Charlotte Tilbury. Since I got this, I became obsessed. Airbrush Flawless foundation. Stays all day and night. It definitely does, girl. I have tried it. I got the shade 4 Neutral. Now I feel like the shade's a little too light on my skin. I have used, I do combine it with another one just to get my perfect match. But when I repurchase it, because I feel like I'm almost done, I will be going up a shade just to have that perfect match. Because this foundation is just beautiful. On my skin personally, I love how it looks. I'm obsessed with the powder as well. MAC Fix Plus Stay Over Alcohol-Free Long-Lasting Setting Spray. Oh my gosh, these names are so long. But I have been loving this. If you need to lock down your makeup, like set it and forget it for the rest of the day, the rest of the night, this. Beautiful. I have another favorite, but I feel like that one, since I kind of started using it last month. Well, January last month. It was a favorite, but this one, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, and I got the small one because it's easier to carry in my purse, and I love that. So that MAC product, I have been missing a few MAC products. I miss their concealer because it was one of my favorites. The only thing is I wish it was like a wand applicator and not the little pump, because if you're not a makeup artist or you're not doing makeup on people, I feel like it's just so wasteful, because I always try to do like half a pump. It wouldn't come out. You do the full pump and it's too much because a little goes a long way. It's still on my list to buy it. The powder and the foundation and the concealer, because I've been missing the foundation. Okay, NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. I have been loving this. I can't find it at the drugstore because at the majority of the Targets I've gone to, the NYX gondola little stand is empty, like wiped out. I don't know if Target's getting rid of brands and like rearranging, but the ones I've been to, the makeup beauty corner is like empty, and I'm like, okay, just because you have Ulta, what about all these other products that I'm coming here for? But this one, this one. I have been liking a lot of the concealers I have, which is why I dug this one out from under the drawer. I was like, hey, I used to like this one. Let's use it again. Now that I got back to using it, I can see why I loved it so much. I'm almost, well, it's literally out. I squeeze it and not much comes out. I'm using whatever's left, like on the little applicator. It has this sponge applicator. I personally don't mind it. I know people are like, oh, that's gross. Like, only I'm using it, so I'm okay with that. Definitely a repurchase. I need to find it. Now, the star of these favorites. If you get anything from these favorites, it must be these two products. And I cannot express this enough, how much I love these. You guys know I was very anti cream contour, cream blush for the longest time. I started off with the e.l.f. little putty bronzer, cream bronzer, and it's been over since then. Then I picked this up because I saw like TikTok talk about it and like how good it is. So I was like, okay, let me pick one up. I got the shade Golden Sun. I'm completely out of it. I already ordered the new one. And I will say the packaging got a little upgrade. Like she grew up. She got nicer. This is a new packaging and like my new one that I've been using. This is the OG packaging. I personally like both. The way this blends on the skin is absolute perfection. And they're so affordable that, girl, don't buy the Charlotte Tilbury one. Buy this one. I am obsessed. This is all I use. Since I got this, I didn't touch my e.l.f. putty bronzer. Any of my other ones, my Chanel, what is it? Soleil Tan de Chanel one. The Soul Beauty one, I was using that one as well. No, this is it. This is all you need. I love this. The way it blends into my skin, I just feel like my contour always looks so nice. It doesn't move my foundation. It doesn't make it patchy. It never looks patchy. It always blends so beautifully, and it gives just the most beautiful contour on my skin. Personally, I feel like I love it. I can't say enough about this. So then I picked up a blush, and this is okay, I should say the full name, right? Wow. She Glam Sun Sculpt Liquid Contour. And then the She Glam Color Bloom Liquid Blush. This color is absolutely gorgeous. It's 102 Float On. This one, I feel like it's a matte blush, but it has that little gold flecks that looks so beautiful on the skin. I absolutely love it. Like, hands down, I'm obsessed. And I use this and I pair it with my Milani Luminoso blush. I have this baby one. For me, I feel like this is such a pretty topper. I use it on its own too. But when I combine it with this blush, it's the prettiest glow. And this has little gold flecks, this one, but it dries matte. So I love that. This combo, I have just been obsessed. I use this on its own as well, and then sometimes just apply, what is it called? Highlighter. Today I am wearing all of this and this. So much. So much. I recommend those. 2 highlighters. This one, I use this all year. Easily all last year. Fenty Beauty Hustler Baby. I have talked about this nonstop. I'm literally digging the sides now because we have majorly hit pan, and I just love this highlighter. It's the prettiest gold, warm gold on my skin, and I love it. I need to stop talking about it. I know I talked about it probably every favorites that I did last year. But I also went back to using my Physicians Formula Rose All Day Petal Glow. This is the shade Petal Glow. Wait, is it? No, it's the shade Freshly Picked. And it's the most beautiful, like, golden highlight. And I still like the glowy, beaming highlighters. This is what I'm wearing today. And it just looks so gorgeous. Love it. Okay, I need to talk about this setting powder. I haven't been this excited for setting powder, this happy and this obsessed with a setting powder that is pricey though in a long time. Like a very long time. But this setting powder, will I repurchase it? Absolutely. It's the Givenchy Prisme Libre Matte Finish and Enhanced Radiance Loose Powder. This is the shade 2 Satin Blanc. And it's the one that has like 4 different shades. But when you pour it out, you know, all 4 shades come out and they combine, and it's the absolute perfect color. And the way this sets my skin, the blurred perfection it gives my skin, like if I'm wearing a filter, oh my gosh, I am obsessed. And I know it's pricey, absolutely is. For me personally, it is definitely worth it. It has that like very, very subtle little glitter flecks, like miniature, like tiny, tiny, tiny glitter flecks on the skin. And you know what it reminds me of? It's not that shiny and that glittery. Personally, I don't mind that look. I love it. But it makes me feel like the vampires from Twilight. Like Edward when he goes into the sun and he shimmers and sparkles. Like, if I can shimmer and sparkle like that, girl, I'll be a vampire. This makes me feel like that. It doesn't shimmer and glow like that, but to me, it just gives the skin such a beautiful look. I love it. So, will I repurchase this? 100%, because it is that good. In my opinion, for me personally, I just really, really, really like it. I have 2 palette favorites that I have been loving, specifically this one, ColourPop Matte About Hue. I will say though, this has a little bit more fallout than normal for me, normal for ColourPop palettes. I will say I don't mind it though, because I have been loving it. These 2 colors have become my everyday transition shades whenever I need to do something quick. Those 2 shades. I also use these 2. Today I'm wearing this whole green row on my eyes and I am obsessed. The pigmentation in these eyeshadows is just amazing. Yeah, it has fallout, but a lot of palettes do. I personally don't mind it. I always tell you guys, as long as eyeshadows are pigmented, they blend well, they are not patchy, I can deal with the fallout, and this palette is just so worth it. Love it. Last favorite, ColourPop Clay It Cool. I have been obsessed with this, and I just remembered what the palette color story reminds me of, and it's that Patrick Top palette that I still haven't used. So I will look at them and look at the colors, see side by side of maybe we have like a potential alternative to that one, which is pricey. But I have been loving this palette. These colors, you guys know, are my jam. I love them. And the shimmers, they're so beautiful in this palette. It's a ColourPop Clay It Cool. Lastly, are 2 disappointments. And these are concealers. I'm going to start off with this one because I included this in many favorites and I did love this concealer until it stopped working. I don't know what it is about the formula, but I feel it has separated. I already tried to like shake it, like I have done everything, roll it to see if the concealer gets combined again, but the way this has separated is just not okay. When I apply it on my skin, it feels like there's a layer of oil and the concealer is on top of it. It looks so gross. Ugh, I don't like it. I have ruined my makeup trying to make it work so many times, and it just doesn't work anymore. And it's not a year old. As soon as I got this and I started using it, I fell in love, so I continued to use it until that was happening. So I stopped using it because I ruined my makeup a lot of times. It doesn't blend out nicely either. That oil, whatever residue it applies on the skin before, or like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just feels like the product has separated, and I don't know. That's not okay. I love this so much. The formula was so nice at the beginning. Now I'm afraid to buy another one. And if it's been sitting like on the shelf, then I'm going to get that same issue quickly. And I don't know. I was very disappointed in that because I liked the wand, you know, how it applied, the coverage, how pretty it looked under the eyes, that it didn't crease. But now seeing that, it doesn't smell nothing. It doesn't look like it's spoiled. I really don't know. I'm just sad. I'm really sad about this. If someone had that same issue, please let me know. I couldn't make it work anymore. I tried and just didn't happen. And then lastly, we have the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. Guys, it just doesn't have coverage for me. The Tarte Shape Tape never worked for me, and I think I bought it like 3 times because it was so popular on YouTube. Every YouTube video I watched, tutorial, there was a Tarte Shape Tape, and I just wanted to like it because it was so popular, and it just never worked out for me. When this came out, I was like, hey, this might be better for me for my under eyes. No, there's like no coverage. I feel like I have to apply so much, and then it just defeats the purpose. I don't know. I haven't been able to make it work just on its own to look nice under my eyes. So I have been using how light it is to combine it with concealers that are super close to my skin tone that give me the coverage, but I need that like under eye brightness. I add a few dots of this just so I can finish it up, honestly, because on its own, I don't like it. It does not work out for me. And that's basically it for these favorites and disappointments of the month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for your support. And like always, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.